You're watching Pick of the Flicks with Tony Douglas, and in today's movie talk we kick off our Hollywood Backstory web series with some interesting tales about the casting of the 1975 fight flick Hard Times, starring Charles Bronson, James Coburn and Jill Ireland. Hard Times details the struggle of a drifter turned illegal prize fighter during the Depression era in New Orleans. Cast in the role of Cheney the Drifter is popular tough guy Charles Bronson, who was about 53 years old when the film was made. Although Bronson was outstanding in the role and brought a weathered bravado to the proceedings, the film almost came to the screen with a much younger fighter at its helm. The original script perceived Cheney as a much younger man, so producers were initially on the hunt for an athletic youngster with fighting skills and sex appeal. Bronson's mechanic co-star Jan Michael Vincent, who was about 31 at the time, fit the bill perfectly, but for one reason or another, Cheney fell into the lap of Bronson and not Vincent. It seems this was around the time Vincent was given the starring role in the action-packed trucker flick White Line Fever, a fan favourite that has gone on to develop a cult following of its own. Hard Times director Walter Hill has been quoted as saying that Bronson was in remarkable physical condition for a guy his age. He had excellent coordination and a splendid build. His one problem was that he was a smoker, so he didn't have a lot of stamina. Hill continued by saying Bronson probably could have kicked anybody's ass on that movie, but he couldn't fight much longer than 30 or 40 seconds. Well, I must say that this doesn't show in the final cut of the film. In fact, Bronson comes off as a heavy hitter, and most fans of the movie have gone on to praise the authenticity and swagger of the film's brutal fight scenes. Also, Bronson's co-star James Coburn was not the original choice for Speed, the shady opportunist who acts as Bronson's manager. It is believed that director Walter Hill wanted grizzled character actor Warren Oates, who was currently in high demand after his superb turn in the Sam Peckinpah Western masterpiece The Wild Bunch. Instead, Oates continued his collaboration with Peckinpah and went on to star in the critically mauled crime drama Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. As cinema history stands, Coburn went on to star as Speed, but was initially reluctant to do so. Word is Coburn had issues playing support to Charles Bronson. Walter Hill has been quoted as saying Coburn was not in a good mood about being in a movie with Charlie. I don't think he was wild about being second banana. Whatever the case, the pairing of Bronson and Coburn worked well for Hard Times, and I'm sure that most fans of the film wouldn't want it any other way. As for the casting of Jill Ireland, well, she was Bronson's wife at the time, and sources indicate that Jill was often part of the casting package. That's right, if you wanted Bronson, you would also have to take Jill. Bronson loved working with his wife, and in most of their collaborations, the two exude some wonderful chemistry together. It has been documented that Walter Hill was critical of the performance of Jill Ireland in Hard Times, and that a lot of her scenes were left on the cutting room floor. Legend has it that when Hill went to Bronson's home to discuss this, Bronson wouldn't shake Hill's hand. He just showed Hill in and poured him a drink. Hill has indicated that he would have liked to have worked with Bronson on other films, but after this meeting, Bronson refused to work with Hill again. This is a real shame for film buffs, as Hill and Bronson proved to be a good combination of director and star. As it stands, Hard Times is a brutal examination of the Depression era in all of its hardship and sorrow. The film is a minor masterpiece of the 1970s, and if you haven't seen it, I urge you to do so. Well, that wraps up our Hollywood backstory on the casting of Hard Times. If you have anything to add to these stories, please share them with us in the comments below. For more on Hard Times, be sure to catch my in-depth review now playing on this channel. Also, if you'd like to see more episodes of Hollywood Backstory, be sure to subscribe for future uploads. Until next time, this is Tony Douglas talking movies for Pick of the Flicks. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.